Hello everyone, Reed back here with my Monster Hunter playthrough. This time we're taking on Barioth. It's similar to the Narga, but native to the Arctic sort of tundra area. Um, Personally, this was one of my favorite monsters that was added in Portable Third. It might have actually been a try now that I think of it, but I first fought it in this game. It's a little late. And by a little late, I mean it's 12:30 at night, and I have classes tomorrow, so I'm kind of tired. But I got my coffee. Still have some homework to do also. But you know what? I'm procrastinating just for you guys. You should feel special, but no, really shouldn't. I'm not that great a person. But anyways, so yeah, it's just right in this next area. So let the video play out. All right, so yeah, that's the Barioth. Looks very similar to, well, kind of similar to Narga, I guess, but less sleek. I'm gonna paintball because I don't really know where it moves in this game. I know it's gonna obviously stay. It's gonna be in 5. No, not 5. 2, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 6. Doesn't go to 5. I don't think it goes to 1. Now I was trying to hold my attack so I could roll through it, but I think I held it a little too long. So yeah, its main attacks are the tail swipe, that sort of shoulder bash that has a deceptively large hitbox. It has sort of a 4 pounce to that, but and well, the double 4 pounce, which that just was. And it can shoot a big ice blast, which is incredibly annoying, but not that hard to avoid. And most of its attacks aren't that hard to avoid. Oh, it also has a save, which I completely forgot about. Has that one where it flies up and usually just tries to land on you. That has one where it flies up higher and like Superman's at you and slides across the ground. And it's very hard to avoid without just that killing. But it doesn't do those too often. And personally, I find this thing a lot easier to fight with a greatsword than a switch axe. Mostly kind of for the same reason that Narga is a little bit easier to fight. I mean, as you can see here, I just whiffed 2 attacks on the tail, but like you can really get in closer, so you can guarantee hits on hit, as opposed to sort of having to stay at this weird limbo range where you're out of range of, or you're in range to. What am I trying to say? Like, you can easily roll away from most of the attacks. It's kind of it's a hard balance, and honestly, it makes Greatsword just kind of better, in my opinion. But you know, I'm honestly a little bit more experienced with the Greatsword than Switch Axe, even though, well, no, never mind. I was gonna say, even though I've probably used Switch Axe more, but that's a total lie. Sorry about that. But yeah, this fight did not go very well for me, as you can see, coming up very shortly. Pretty much, well, it's in rage mode now, but you'll see. My main priority here is trying to cut its tail off, just because that's sort of how I usually start monster, or how I usually try and fight monsters that have tails. Even though it doesn't really have a tail attack, but I think it only uses the tail swipe 5 or so times, which is really easy to roll through, honestly. But it's again one of those. See, there's the deceptively large hitbox, but it's really, I don't know if I'm actually rolling under it or what. And there again, like, kind of has 2 ranges, like a super short one, and this was like, oh well, fuck, I'm dead. So I tried to roll, but got clipped. And that's my first death. Not a big deal. I mean, I've got 2 more, so it's not like, you know, I've died twice already and I've barely even hurt it, never broke anything. Or I would just be like, oh well, shit. Also, forgot to mention, see my new weapon, I think. I don't know if I had that before. I'm not entirely sure, but it's the Narga switch axe, and that's Jinouga armor. Even though it looks pretty cool in my opinion, but it makes your arms and legs look really short. Which, whatever. It's not that big a deal. But yeah. So, trying to get its tail off right. It's sort of my priority number one, but what I probably should have done was try and break one of its arms, I guess. Those little, like, plate shoulder things that are, or not shoulder, forearm things that are sticking out the edge of its wings. Those can be broken, and when you break it, when it jumps to the side like that, if it jumps on the side that has the broken bit, I believe it sort of like slips and gives a big opening. It just sort of makes the fight a lot more manageable, because right now, it moves really fast, and it has a ton of annoying attacks, but when you get that sort of like, that like stagger almost on the jumps, it really like, it slows it down to where it's incredibly manageable. So here I'm just trying to wail on the tail and deal as much damage as I can. Also, you can break its tusks. That doesn't affect its ice beam thing at all, which is kind of weird. It's sort of like how, oh, there's some other monster I'm thinking of that when you break it, like, maybe Urgon, which I'll probably fight a little bit later, but that has a really hard chin, and it uses its chin for a lot of attacks, but when you break it, you'd think it would just be like, oh, it can't really do those attacks anymore without, like, stunning itself or something, but no, it's the same. Just the same. You broke the chin. And disappointing, to say the least. I just broke there. But, it's no big deal. I mean, I'd really like them to add sort of, they seem basic things. I think this is where you see the Superman. Actually, yes it is. Because I almost kind of get killed by it, so I'm like, oh shit. So let's turn my camera up so you can see it. Now you get the cool glint off the sunrise. Almost killed me. And yeah, tail whip. But yeah, so what I really should be doing instead of going for that tail is doing that arm that I've been sort of hitting. Not really on purpose, but if I could hit its arm enough to break it, then I could probably get in enough that's on the tail to actually cut off the tail. And that would be fantastic. But, unfortunately, best laid plans of mice and men often go awry, something like that. I don't know. I'm no literary expert, as you can probably tell. I don't even remember the last book I read. Actually, yep, I do. It was a sequel to John Dies at the End. Ooh, actually, a legitimately really scary book. But this isn't Book Hunter. This is Monster Hunter. There you can see the whole thing go so clutchly blocked that ice shot. I mean, I could probably avoid it, but it was cool. And there's a tusk broken. And actually, it breaks both tusks, it looks like. Which I didn't realize, because in 3U, yeah, it looks like both may be broken. In 3U, it only breaks one, and you have to hit it again to break it again. Which is just sort of, it's one more thing to break. I don't know. Maybe that changes in high rank. Beats me. But yeah, and here, this is one of the points where hammer kind of screws me, coming up at least. I was lucky that it didn't do that to me, because I definitely wasn't taking the damage. There you go, roll through it again. That time I actually rolled through it, so you can see I sort of like got stopped a little bit on the tail. But, you know, I wouldn't say it's anything special to roll through a tail swipe on those Barioth and Narga, or even Rathros. Now I think about it. The Rathros, you definitely just go under it. For the Unite, you didn't, because that hitbox was massive. Which is, once a lot of people say, oh, or when a lot of people are like, oh, what monster should I get into? And people say, you know, Freedom Unite has the most content. What they're leaving out is that
Freedom Unite has sort of the worst mechanics. Like, a lot of things are very, very rough. Like, Hunting Horn, terrible. Hammer is the best weapon. Set, maybe Greatsword. And even then, you really have to, like, dig deep. And there I can that. But, you really have to dig deep in the trees to get Greatswords. And Hammer is just a better thing. Well, shit. So I go to heal, and then boom. That was unfortunate. But honestly, I should have seen it coming. When I was playing, it looked like it targeted me like 3 times in a row, but I saw that did the Superman, which I guess I didn't see or something. I don't know. It's a shame that it had to go that way, but you know, oh well. One thing about the set. Oh, sorry, I was talking about the freemium. Now I'll finish that thought first. Well, yeah, when they're saying like, you know, freemium has the most content, it's really painful to get through that content. At least solo. With friends, it's not too bad, but it's still, it's like icky almost. It's I don't know how to describe it. Like, I can't really compare it to anything beyond maybe like, it's like playing the first Super Smash Bros. When you could easily play Melee or Brawl. It's kind of like that. Like, it's good, but it's not that good. That's my opinion, at least. I mean, I had a ton of fun with it when I played it, but of course I played it with friends, so, you know, my thoughts may be a little bit skewed. And playing it solo, like, if you're gonna be playing on your own, you might as well just, no, forget about it. Either go 3U or this game. Or, actually, now that I think about that, maybe just 3U. That's a real shame that all the Monster Hunter games are spread across consoles. Different consoles and different companies. Like, you've got a lot of them for, you've got like half for Sony, half for Nintendo. And by half, I mean a lot for Sony. But only like 1 or 2 that matter. And I guess 2 that matter for Nintendo. Which is just a bummer. Well, 3 now, but yeah, it's a bummer. Like, I don't know how I feel about that, but I think they made the right decision going with the 3DS over the PS Vita. I'm very sure it was because the Vita wasn't selling very well. I mean, it's probably the superior console in terms of power and online capabilities, but it wasn't a popular console when 3U and all that came out and stuff. Which is a shame, because playing on a PlayStation console was so nice and so almost iconic, maybe? I don't know. That's a bad way to put that. So now I'm going back to Carved Tale, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel. It's sort of just it's a mess. That's a good way to put it. It's a mess. What I was going to mention before I was talking about Freedom Unite was the set has Sharp Sword and some other bonuses that I can't quite remember. But Sharp Sword pretty much lets it, when you hit an enemy, the sharpness that it takes away is decreased by half. So it really increases the longevity of your weapon. In terms of sharpness, that is. Which goes really well with this Narga switch axe because it has not a lot of blue, but enough that it's more than like a hit or 2. It's like 4, maybe 10 hits, and then it goes to green. But now it's more like 20. So it sort of increases my overall damage, assuming I don't die or anything, but increases my overall damage a nice amount. And usually Barioth goes to 6 to rest. Apparently it just didn't want to rest. I don't know. Another thing that's interesting is the sort of Monster Hunter Online game, the free-to-play? I don't know if it's free-to-play, but the one in China with the super HD graphics, the Unreal? No. The CryEngine, I think. I might be wrong on that, it might be Unreal, but it's made with some really high-end engine. Well, not high-end if we're talking Unreal, but a much better engine than it is now. But it has sort of lack of content. Scream just sort of went to sleep, which is awesome, but all I missed was, me killing it. Why I'm crouching down here is because you can carve faster. You don't have to stand back up each time. It's honestly something I didn't know until 3U. And even then, I only learned that because I watch people streaming who do them. I'm like, huh, that's really smart. I don't know why I never thought of that. But I mean, before I never really killed monsters. I always captured them because, at least in Free Unite, the amount of drops you got was, I'm very sure, increased like a lot more. It was way more worth it to capture a monster and kill it. Because sure, you got 3 carbs, but you got like barely a lot. You got like nothing. I don't know. It seemed much more rewarding not to kill the monster. Which is a shame, because it's a good dichotomy. Or, well, not dichotomy. Here I am using words I barely even know. But no, it's a nice feature to have, to be able to capture or kill, each with their own strengths and benefits, but I would really like to see something more done with that, like maybe you barely get as much pelts or other stuff like that, furs and stuff like that. If you kill it, but if you capture it, you might not get, horns or claws or stuff like that. So it really lets you mix it up, because whenever I farm something, I always capture it, if I can, that is. And, well, that's pretty much the end of this. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this is going up on Monday of the week after the last one, but if not, I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.